This is a story about the time I almost got struck by lightning.
This is a journey into sound, a journey which along the way will bring to you.
So it all started because I went to climb this really tall mountain in Bolivia. All right, so this is what happened. I was in the southwest of Bolivia climbing a 19,500 foot volcano. Before I went out there, I knew that the weather was going to be a little bit gnarly, a little bit dicey. But from what I was able to gather, the weather was going to be somewhat clear in the morning hours. So my plan was to wake up really early and climb to the top of the volcano and get there as soon as I could and then come back down. So I woke up at 3:50 a.m. and headed out.
All right, it is 3:50 in the morning.
And started to make my way up to the summit super early. And I got to the summit of the volcano at 11 a.m. Now at this time, at 11 a.m., by the time I got to the summit, I noticed that there was clouds forming all around me, there was clouds forming all around me, all above me, all below me. I got a little bit nervous and I realized that there was a storm coming and I needed to get out of there. Look at these clouds. Literally like, wow, 15 minutes after I summited, these clouds came out of nowhere, which means it's time to get down and low. Gotta move, but stay safe. Move in a safe way. Yeah, don't want to trip on all these rocks. I have to hike down. So I began to make my descent, and within an hour, the entire sky had turned dark, and it started to snow. And within an hour and a half, I could see thunder and lightning. So I got back to my base camp. I packed everything up. All right, I'm gonna pack up my tent really fast and try to lose as much elevation as possible. And I continued hiking down the mountain to the highway. And once I got there, I thought I'd be safe. But unfortunately, that was not the case. There's just like giant thunderstorm that's going on right now. So I get down to the road off the mountain and I thought I was safe, but unfortunately the storm had gotten a lot worse. To my surprise, I was expecting the storm to get to lighten up the lower I got. So at this time I could hear thunder and lightning, but there's like no one around here. I'm like completely by myself. This is actually a highway. This is actually like a highway, a national highway of Bolivia, a dirt road. There's no one here. There was thunder and lightning all around me. It was snowing. It was snowing at this time, and it was also really cold. So, and unfortunately, there was nowhere lower to go. I was at the bottom of this valley, so yeah, I was definitely in danger of getting struck by lightning. All right, so where was I? 1 second, I have an idea. This color is going to be important here in a second. Most important. So I'm walking down this road all by myself in the middle of this valley, and everything is completely flat. I'm at the bottom of this valley, there's mountains all around me, and I start seeing lightning striking the ground, and it's close. And there's nowhere for me to go. There's nowhere for me to hide. There's nowhere for me to find shelter. There's no buildings everywhere. There is a refugio about 5 miles away from me. So I'm walking towards this refugio where I can find some shelter on this road. But in this time, the storm is getting worse and worse and worse. In fact, I'm actually walking in the direction of the storm. So I'm walking down this road, and I know things are getting serious because I can feel the static electricity on my hair rising up into the sky, on my hair on my head and the hair on my arms and my gear. I could feel like the static electricity. And I'm walking, and the storm is getting worse and worse and worse. And I'm walking and I'm walking. And then all of a sudden, without any warning, a bolt of lightning strikes within 100 meters of me. As soon as that bolt of lightning hits the ground, I go completely blind for about 2 seconds. I can't see a single thing. Everything is completely white. It scared the living shit out of me. I'd completely lost my wits. I just started running and screaming. I had no control over my body, and I was just completely terrified. So I just start running and screaming, running and screaming. After about a minute or so of me running and screaming, I eventually get my wits about me and realize running and screaming is not going to help me at all. And what I need to do is just find somewhere as low as I can and just sit there until the storm passes through. So I eventually find this ditch, and I kid you not, the ditch was literally 6 inches deep. Everything in this valley was completely flat, so there was really nowhere for me to go. But I did manage to find this tiny little ditch on the side of the road that was just like 6 inches deeper than the rest of the valley. So I decided to just put my mat down and lay down in the ditch and put my tent over me. I didn't set the tent up, I just put it over me like a blanket.
So terrified right now. Oh my God. A bolt of lightning just struck within like 400 yards of me. I heard the lightning, the thunder and the lightning strike at the same time. And I just ran for I was screaming, and I just ran to some ditch in the ground and then put my tarp up, and I'm laying on my backpack. I'm so scared. There was another one. But I think I'm safe here. There's this huge thunder and snowstorm going on right now.
And by the way, it's snowing at this time. It's snowing and it's freezing cold. It's like below 30, it's below freezing, and it's snowing. And I wait there for about 30 minutes until the storm passes. And I'm listening, and I'm hearing the difference between when I see the lightning, because my whole tent flashes up every time a bolt of lightning comes through. And I count to see how far apart those two are. And eventually I stop hearing thunder. I'll see the lightning, but I stop hearing thunder. And by that time, I knew it was safe to come out. When I realized it was safe to come out, I packed up all my stuff and kept making my way to the refugio. I was pretty close to the refugio at this time, so it took maybe an hour to get there. So yeah.
All right, so this part of the video is called, the last part of the video is super intense, so I think it's time to add in some half-baked cinematic montage to relieve the tension a little bit. So here it goes.
Street of New York.
So I was editing this video that you're watching right now, and I decided to take a break from it and go for a run. And as ironic as it gets, there's literally a thunderstorm going on right now. It's a small one, but I've seen like 5 bolts of lightning. So, do you hear that? There's some thunder. So I'm just gonna take this as a sign.
So I made it to El Alto Refugio, but the refugios, there's 2 of them here, but they're both closed due to the pandemic, and there's nobody here. So there's this border control, like the border control for commodities is here, and Everything else is completely closed. So they let me stay in their office, and this is their office. And then I'm going to be camping right here, which is sleeping right here, which is nice because everything I have is wet. Everything I have is super wet. So I'm super grateful. So yeah, I'm going to be camping inside the office of, that's kind of the brand over there. They have like a little desk. So I'm super grateful for these guys because I really needed a place to stay. And this has been like the most intense day of my life.
Yeah.